Here's a look at the emini S&P for Wednesday, October the 6th, 2010. When we left the video yesterday, we were suggesting that the 52 area would likely act as support in this up market. This is the overnight profile, and this is what occurred today. So you can see that it didn't get down there overnight, but it did touch down to 51 in the regular trading hours and have a nice bounce late in the day. So that support area held nicely. So it may get down to 49, but it looks like it's more likely to test 60, which is the area where the market tested to again today as it rallied up. And I think the high of the day was, what was it exactly? Yeah, it was 58.75. So it did reach 60 overnight, so that's obviously an area of resistance up there, and an area we should monitor going forward for tomorrow. So here's our software here, and you can see that we had a lot more long trades today than we did shorts. So the day was, here's a short trade here and a short trade here. So there's only two shorts and the others were longs, which was good because we wanted to get on board the long side because our intraday bias was to the upside. The one thing that kind of got in the way a little bit in that sense until later in the day was we didn't get the green filter until late in the day. So we did have a nice trade because of that late in the day that worked out really well. That turned out to be our sixth trade of the day, and was actually, I don't know if it was the best one. It wasn't actually, but it was a good trade. It was sort of the trade we were looking for, especially after the market had already gone down and given a good test of that 52 area. We had a series of long trades to begin with here. The first one hit our first objective. The second one hit our first objective only, but was the third one that had the really nice rally. So in essence, a break even on trades 1 and 2 here, and trade 3 had the nice run, rallying a little over 3 points in our favor. We had an interesting situation here in that we basically had two trades here that triggered one after the other on consecutive bars. We don't get this all that often. And so we did have a long trade here that we did take, which was our fourth trade because it was the next one chronologically. However, shortly after that, our filter turned red. And even though we're in the intraday up auction, that kind of structure was suggesting that the market still had room to move on the downside, so we could get short in around that 55 area with an expectation the market's likely to hit on down to into the 52 area. So we did take that short. It did work out great. Unfortunately, after holding it for about 10 minutes, I think it had moved a couple of ticks against us, so we ended up by getting out of that trade. And the main reason being is that you don't really have time on your side, generally speaking, when you're going against the intraday auction. And so that's how we ended up by trading that one. Well, we did have another short trade, as you see here. It wasn't filled until here, because remember, every one of our trades identifies it with the actual price. As you can see right by these arrows here, the actual price is posted. And then the dashed arrow dashed horizontal line is placed. You don't see the dashed line every time because if our entry prices hit the very next bar, then there's no space obviously to put in a dashed line. So in this one there was, and we got filled short here, and it did have that nice move down to test that 52 support area again. So that worked out to be a nice trade. So we actually had 4, 5. This was a combination of 4 and 5. I sort of thought it was, I mean, you could classify it as 1, but classify it as 2. That was the 6th, and then this actually would have, counting it that way, would have turned out to be the 7th trade. So we actually had quite a few trades today, with 3 of them actually working out very nicely. This third trade here had a really nice rally, so that worked out great. 3.25 points. The sell here, this one, sold off 2.25 points, and then the long one here that rallied 2.25 points in our favor. So we had 3 actually really nice trades out of the 7. and the other ones were either a tiny loss or a break even. So all in all, not a bad day of trading. We are expecting still more up, and we're still looking in the 52 as support. If it does dip on the news, it might come down to 49. If it gets below that, then uh, then the bets are off as far as still wanting to play the long side in the daytime frame. Um, and then with quite possibly a test of today's high and perhaps 1160 as well. So any questions or comments are always welcome. You can reach us at info@eminidaytrader.com. We always enjoy hearing your questions and comments. So send them on over. And thanks for watching the video. And we'll see you again tomorrow.